Hi, this is Matt with the Intergalactic Herald, just doing my Star OS Week in Review podcast. This is podcast number 37. If you're interested in any of the Star OS creators, links mentioned, or articles, you can go to intergalacticherald.com and look for news recap number 86. If anyone listening would want to be a guest on this podcast, I'm definitely open to other community Star Atlas community members who would like to discuss the week in review of Star Atlas. At some point, I hope to bring on some guests of other Star Atlas content creators or Star Atlas builders. So if you're interested in any of that, please go to intergalacticherald.com and look for the contact page and just send me a note there. I do want to promote two of my other Star Atlas projects. One is a merch store that I'm hoping, apologize. Been fighting colds, seems like endlessly now. So again, starting merch store, you can go to intergalacticgear.com and check that out. Right now, I'm just have a merch survey up in the process of developing all the back-end stuff for that. Apparently, there's lots of stuff to start a business, get all legal with liability protection and bank accounts and reseller agreements and all this other stuff, not to mention outsourcing to different print-on-demand vendors. So doing all that kind of behind the scenes before being able to actually sell some products. So I'm definitely curious if you have anything you'd like to share on merch that you'd be interested in. So again, intergalacticgear.com. And then my other project is to create what I'm calling a non-guild guild or a coalition of Star Atlas gamers that will be able to communicate and talk to each other on a paid community. So I'm looking at a different community platform than Discord. So it costs money, but it gives a lot of cool features, I think, like threaded discussions, email notifications on topics you're interested in, things like that. So if you're interested in that, please go to intergalacticcoalition.com and fill out the interest survey there. Looking to develop kind of an initial founding group of members to start that and then be able to roll it out to open access for everyone. So moving into the content section, it was quite a light week of news from Star Atlas. I think that's partly due to the Breakpoint conference and, all the run up to that. Lots of content creators in the Star Atlas community did reviews of that, and then the team seems to have gone kind of quiet. But again, I think it makes perfect sense. One thing might have been more news. There was a Atlas Brew this past week. Again, the Atlas Brews are the Star Atlas-led community forums that exist out there. Unfortunately, apparently no one recorded it this time, so my Saturday tradition of catching up on that, or I guess sometimes I do it on Friday, and learning what's there. But they said it was just an oversight, and somebody posted, and I think it's true, that is sort of their main main communication platform outside of Discord or Twitter. But I actually have to say that the Discord is more of, reactionary. I guess posting things. Again, I can't speak to what's in the Foundation room, but on the other general channels. And again, it's very difficult, at least for me, to figure out what's going on. Tweets are good. Announcement channel in the Discord is excellent. Even minor announcements. They're pretty good about keeping us up to date there. But since the reduction in staff, definitely can't think of the last time when there was a real, they had a Medium posting. I can't even remember what it's called now. Anyways, it hasn't happened in a long time. They use Medium to post upcoming things like the announcement of Sage Labs or Golden Ticket raffle, but really there hasn't been much else. I can't think of the last time they actually posted on their website or kind of other social media channels outside of Twitter. They do post on Twitter, or X, whatever. Again, just Twitter. Sorry, just personal pet peeve. Anyways, my point being is the Atlas Brews, they talk a lot. So but unfortunately, can't go to those live due to the timing and my time zone and that I'm working on my business. So there could have been some more news there. So just a couple things to share with you, kind of on the news or updates thing. One, there's some more information. I'm not sure if it was more information about the crew packs coming out, but one of the things that I maybe missed on the Breakpoint announcement is that the crew packs will actually be your PFP, your kind of profile picture. And again, I never obviously bought can't remember what they called those apes, Bored Apes, or other things like that. I wasn't that kind of into crypto when those things were really going around. But hearing other people talk about them, I have to admit, I'm actually kind of getting a little more excited for it because, again, Sounds like they're going to be kind of like the traditional NFT things like the Bored Apes, that they're unique and automatically generated. And anyways, I don't know. I have to admit, I'm kind of there. And I was kind of thinking about, I'm like, why that's so interesting? One is I think it'll make the crew, I think so far in Star Atlas, we've been all focused on ships. What's a cool ship? What ship do you like? Things like that. But the ships have crew, and I guess I was always thinking, well, I'm the crew. I'm the gamer. I'll be the one piloting the ship. I assume that's still the case because the showroom, you pilot the ship. But now they're talking more about the crew as kind of individual things. And again, this is where the crew packs are coming. Again, I think the Breakpoint announcement was really the first. But again, I guess it's another thing. And maybe deep down, I'm a collector. If you could see my room, I got things from vacations, my Legos that I build over the years, decades probably. Stuff from my kids from when they were little kids in grade school. So I guess I am kind of a collector, and so actually this is kind of cool because they'll be unique. And I don't know, I guess just more and more interested in these crew packs. So the other kind of news things was the golden ticket drawing. I guess completed the second one, and I think they occur on, at least my time, Fridays. So I logged in last night to look. Of course, I didn't win again. I don't know if I've said. So my strategy is just sort of like occasionally when I play the local lottery, Powerball, whatever, it gets to $1 billion and I'm out and about. Sure, I'll buy a couple tickets. Why not? It's a chance to dream for a few minutes what you would do with all that money. And I guess I'm kind of thinking of the golden tickets kind of the same way. So I've been putting in just 10 tickets for each drawing, and I think I'll continue that because I had bought a few months ago when Sage Labs came out, 10 tickets. So I was going to keep 10 for each of the 8 drawings, and then I was going to keep 1 golden ticket just for sentimental collector reasons. The drawing occurred. Again, it's apparently completely automated. I think there might have been somebody streaming the live drawing or something. But as I was just skimming, something seemed to have changed where all the wallet addresses have been changed to actual names, so I'm not sure how you could do that. But given that's there, there was one person that sure seemed to won a lot. I know the first one, somebody won the top 2 prizes, but this person seemed to win a lot. And again, I guess if I figured out Twitter or Discord, maybe somebody was talking about it, maybe they would say how many tickets that person entered. But I do have to admit, kind of feeling over this. 6 more drawings, what's being offered. Again, I guess it's maybe just the lack of motivation. I know, again, there's no chance to win. It's just the thing. And again, I'm not faulting anybody who's winning. The system was set up. The rules were made. Obviously, if you have more tickets in there, you have a better chance. It's just how this stuff works. I'm, again, not complaining, not saying it's unfair, but if you only have a few tickets or you only want to spend a few dollars, you don't have take a risk and think. Because, again, there's mathematical probability. If you put more in, you're given a better chance. But I guess it goes back to things we were talking about when the initial Sage Labs came out and, other things about, what's in it for, quote unquote, the little guy or the little fleet. And definitely the golden raffle isn't for the small person. I'm sure if you do it, but again, you see patterns like, again, one person winning not just 2 things, but his name was, or that person's was, anyways, name was there a lot. So kind of, again, feeling over it. I'll probably still stick with my 10 ticket thing. Just why not? They don't have any other reason to keep them. So anyways, that's that. So again, because it was kind of a light week, I got 2 other kind of sections. One was just the Breakpoint 1 week later, just had some random thoughts now that everything's sunk in. And again, one thing that was shown in the videos was, and I think, again, Star Atlas put all the videos up on their Twitter accounts. So as I was watching, I'm like, wait, we've already seen this. So had a chance to rewatch, I guess. One, the shooter. I think I'd mentioned initially is like, okay, it's a shooter. We have plenty of shooters. But a week later, I guess it is making more sense because if we think of Star Atlas, the entire, again, metaverse, ecosystem, whatever you want to call it, platform, having a shooter type component, whether again it's first person or third person, it doesn't matter. It's shooting game. It does make a lot of sense. Definitely, I think there's a history now with video games over the last couple of decades where those are games people like to play. I mean, again, Halo was probably one of the first ones that reached consciousness with the Xbox. I'm sure PlayStation's had theirs. And now, I mean, it's just another genre of games that come out every year, Call of Duty franchise, things like that. So I think it actually does make sense. Kind of wonder if, by definition, the Unreal Engine maybe is more suited to that. Like, again, because lots of games are going to run that and do, first-person shooters. So I think it does make sense. Again, as I've said, and again, each person's totally entitled to their own gameplay style, the things that they're interested in. Yeah, it just doesn't, I'm not that good at it. So it's not something I want to do. But I guess, I mean, if it was easy to play and it's part of something, and again, maybe back to these crew packs and I have my character, and if I play, that helps with progression. Yeah, okay, maybe. Again, assuming I had free time. But I also was starting to think that this could be a really cool thing for the guilds. You got all your players in there, and you could maybe have guild death matches or something. Again, I'm not even sure if, again, you can spawn your own instance and invite people. Are there going to be matchmaking? Again, it's all down the road. I don't know if there's just one environment we're all in there playing, or if there's areas you can go, or if you can have your own dedicated ones. Again, but I start seeing more and more of the grand vision of Star Atlas. And again, if we go back to whatever's on the website about, grand exploration, grand politics, anyways, all the big ones, you still got to start small. You got to start somewhere. And the shooter, whatever we'll call it, I think, again, that does make a lot of sense. On a similar vein, the racing, again, as I thought more and more about it, yeah, it makes a ton of sense. I mean, I vaguely remember playing a little Mario Kart back in the day of whatever Nintendo system. I was over at someone's house, and it's fun. You get a couple of people together, and again, I know there's voice chat now and things like that. Plus, there seems to be the whole spectator part of the racing. So again, may not be something I think I'm going to be like, oh, I'm a great racer or something like that. I mean, I know I'm not. I'm old. But anyways, again, I think it makes a lot of sense to add that as kind of one of the intro gameplay types that could exist within the showroom. So I think in the end, you got to give Star Atlas a lot of credit. They are delivering gameplay scenarios that gamers would want to do. And again, we could think of how many shooters are out there, how many different styles of racing, whether, again, it's car racing, it's Mario Kart. I mean, whatever. Again, it's a perfect thing. And again, both of those kind of gameplay scenarios involve community and playing together and having fun. Again, I'm going to give them credit. So I think it kind of, maybe I was a little too like, yeah, these are just me too. Well, actually, probably that's not the right phrase to use anymore. These are just similar to what everybody else is doing, but there's a reason why. Now, add that same gameplay style with the progression, with the NFTs, with the other aspects, that the grand strategy parts that are coming probably down the road. Yeah, you got to get started. And on that same vein, if we go back to the mobile app, again, I think that's a great potential for casual gamers. It's, again, designed for your phone. It's free. You can just do whatever. Yeah, Metaverse Explorer did a kind of slow-mo look at the video of the mobile app, and again, I was like, yeah, it's not a real game. It's not real images. It's just a mock-up. But he was looking at the different words and things like that, and there could be there could be level ups, there could be customizations and things like that. So again, it may be a lot more than just this is a step tracking thing and then that levels up your character. So again, we know mobile games and the very simplistic, and I don't mean that in a negative way, game mechanics are very popular. And again, if you just have a little bit of time and you can do it for 5 minutes and something happens, and then eventually, if you want to, you can take your crew and turn it into an NFT. Again, it makes a lot of sense. And then the final kind of week later thing, Sage. I have to say, this one's I'm still kind of more on the fence with, because even though they had said, I'm pretty sure this was public knowledge, that they were going to abandon the current Sage labs and move to the Starbase and change game ID and things like that. They keep putting things in Sage labs like a combat simulator, which is not real, but I'm like, again, I thought you guys said you're moving on to the next one, so why do you keep putting things in this current one? So I think really Sage is more about what's coming next. And again, if we go back to the Breakpoint thing, the 3D thing looked really cool. Looked like a much more, I'm going to say, not more complicated, but more direct. I mean, so you actually are mining something specific, and then you have a command to do that, where here you just say mine, and then, off screen it's doing the mining and things like that. So anyway, so again, I think we'll have to wait and see on Sage. But the other things, again, I think are becoming, I'm starting to see how they fit into a larger picture. And again, if I haven't said it before, I'll continue to make sure I do. I still think the vision, the goals that Star Atlas, the team, the founders, are still what really intrigues me about this entire project. Execution, delays, things like that. Yeah, not the mistakes were made. I mean, everybody learns. I mean, I recently had something in my business. I'm like, yeah, I messed up, So, I mean, again, I'm not faulting them at all for being human. But, again, the grand scheme, the big overall vision, the lofty goals, I mean, those are still, I think, very intriguing. And, again, now we're starting to see maybe some of these smaller parts where we start working into that. So last section, just kind of starting, again, keeping going over like, hey, what am I doing? So I have to say I'm really more focused now waiting for the progression, whether that's the prayer profiles, a mobile app, something like that. I guess if I'm going to exchange my time, the current Sage Labs where you're out mining things, again, cool. Maybe someday diamonds are important or some other thing, but I don't know what it is. So it's really hard to spend the time to do an arbitrary goal, which I don't know what's going to happen down the road. Again, like I said, I've enjoyed the Zeely goals where, hey, go, sub warp 30 times. Sure, great. It takes me an hour or something, and it feels good, and you get a couple points, and I think I'm getting very close to having whatever that milestone is necessary to get the, what are they called, memory fragment. So, but I think if, again, I had my ships or my crew packs or whatever, or something on the mobile app, and there's a progression, again, I'm really feeling more and more that's the missing thing to really push over. Again, it's nothing wrong with correcting resources and mining, but since, it's public knowledge that the Sage Labs is going to become Starbase, it's going to completely change gamer ID, and you're going to have to move all your resources out. It's just really hard to get personally much motivated in Sage Labs when nothing's going to pull forward. So I have decided to definitely purchase a better video card for my PC. So I did the research, narrowed down the thing, and I'm really hoping for the Black Friday sale to drop down the price a little so I'll be patient for a few more weeks. But I think I'm ready to commit to it. Because again, I guess I consider myself a PC gamer. So not being able to run the showroom right now with my 6 gigabyte video card, which even though the number fits their thing. And again, they're upfront. Sorry, I was upfront on the Epic Game Store of how much video RAM you need. So I'm not faulting them, even though, and again, it's alpha, so I can't really not fault them for an optimized game. But I found out when I last bought a video card, or even when I last bought my computer. So it's time, and holidays and Christmas, and it's my Christmas/birthday treat to myself. So hopefully that will be there. And if I don't get into the racing, which I'm pretty sure, it was in the Breakpoint video that the next thing is, well, actually, I'm kind of thinking, I don't know if they said for sure the combat would be in the next version. I thought, again, they were focused on the racing. But again, they haven't announced anything, so who knows what the goal is for the next upgrade to the showroom. But without a video card, I can't experience it. So, and the last kind of strategy, I think I'm more and more focusing in, because like I said, so the shooter, maybe, but I don't think I'll play it every day. Racing, maybe fun to watch, but I'm not going to be as good. We'll see what the next Sage version is. The mobile app's kind of interesting. I'm really thinking that it might be, once they finally make the claim stakes actually do something, because it feels like, of all the things in the marketplace, we got the ships, we got the resources now, the claim stakes are there, they're able to be staked, so I'm getting my R4 to go back into my faction fleet to get my Atlas. That game loop is very appealing to me right now because it takes absolutely no effort or time, and I get stuff without having to do all the mining, transportation in Sage Labs. I think it'll be really interesting when this claim stakes move to whatever their next thing is. Now, again, I'm not sure if there's anything coming for that, but that kind of got with my long-term interest, which is the mining exploration gameplay thing where, again, if you just go with the word claim stake, I'm staking a claim. Again, I'm assuming this is back to like, Klondike, Yukon mining, gold. So I'll take my claim stake, I'll go find a piece of land, I'll stake it. Guess I have to defend it, but then I can do mining. And if all I'm doing in that one game loop is that one resource, I think that's much more appealing to me than what we're doing right now in Sage Labs, where, again, the end result is claiming a few ships that aren't really going to always be there. Anyways, I could see, again, maybe this goes back to the progression aspect, that if you put a claim stake down and you start doing something, and I was always like, assuming you don't get destroyed. But again, if you can put a claim stake in the no or low, what is the risk zone? Can't remember. The 3 risk zones, you can't be destroyed. Now, I can't imagine we can't put claim stakes in that zone. Again, we don't know. But then it's like, hey, cool, then it's mine. And I will have that piece of land. That's very appealing, again, with the idea of progression and ownership and things like that. So anyways, that's cool. One thing, though, and again, it was triggered by this combat simulator that they put in the Sage Labs. I was thinking, lots of people seem to be interested in combat. And I've been, we got the combat of the people that was showed for the showroom. We obviously know we have ship combat because the showroom has that current thing. But as I look at the guild channel, lots of people talk about being a pirate. And recently there's some show about, there's some show about pirates that my wife was watching, which wasn't really about pirates. Anyways, doesn't matter. It's on an HBO show. But I got thinking again that just this whole gameplay loop of pirates, because I was thinking more of it as faction on faction battles, So there's 3 factions and they have these epic, gigantic battles between each faction. But again, here are lots of people in Discord talk about, I want to be a pirate. I was like, what do pirates do? And then I got realizing, pirates loot people. Okay, yeah, that's combat, sure. But they got to go out and kill people or take their cargo, destroy their ships. So who are these innocent people? And again, I was going back to history. Sorry, going off on a pirate tangent. And pirates attacked like in the Caribbean, they were attacking the Spanish or the English, or maybe it was the English attacking the Spanish. I don't know. I don't know my pirate history that well. But they were attacking governments. They were attacking nation states, not my little claim out there. And I guess you could go back to, again, terrible analogy, but the U.S. history of Native Americans versus settlers. Well, again, not to get into whatever, but the settlers were taking over their land, so it wasn't really piracy. But anyways, the wrong, bad stereotype of white settlers in the United States being attacked by Native Americans. Okay, anyways, again, it's not pirates, but again, I was just thinking, there's not nation states, because again, to me, pirates are attacking nation states, not individual merchants. But there weren't any individual merchants back in those days, I don't think. Anyways, again, I don't know my pirate history. Bad analogy with the U.S. West. Anyways, just a random thing. Who are the pirates attacking? But anyways, that's a weird way to end it, but only because I was thinking again about setting up my claim stakes and I don't want anybody to attack me. But again, just don't go to where you can be attacked. So anyways, that wraps that up. Sorry, again, wandering, meandering, rambling there. But that was a week in Star Atlas. So again, if you're interested in rambling on with me, please go to intergalacticherald.com, go to contact page, and fill it out and see if we can coordinate a time where we could ramble together. While you're there, please look for the news recap, and you can sign up for that and get an email every week of everything that I found curated off of other Star Atlas content creators. I guess when you're on the website, I am starting to build, pun intended, out the Star Atlas builder section. There was a list in the breakpoint, and it had been a goal of mine to kind of keep building different resources on my website. So I was able to take over previous work for the Star Atlas Guild database, move it to my website to keep that going. Thought it'd be really cool if we had a list of builders out there. I think I already have a list of YouTubers and a couple other ones there. So check out the builders list there. If you are a builder and you're listening to this, love to highlight you on there. Again, it's not exclusive. It's going to put everybody on there. Just need permission to use your logo and graphics, and if you could send me a description, I'd be happy to put it up there. Again, and then my 2 build projects. One, again, my merch store, intergalacticgear.com. Please fill out the merch survey. Check my email today and I had someone fill that out, so I greatly appreciate that. All the feedback's really helpful to kind of, again, my goal for the merch store is to be community driven. What do you want? Got some ideas of how we can even be community developed, with designs and things like that. So I really want this to be, not just walk into a department store. I might be dating myself. Walk into your local place you buy clothes and you just have to go through the racks to pick what you want. No, I want to hopefully create stuff that people actually want to purchase. So I'm trying to set up the merch store to be very flexible in user suggestions, maybe not user generated content per se, but hey, who knows? I guess in the build program, we're just using assets from Star Atlas. So yeah, I guess now I think about that. If it's somebody comes up with an idea and the idea is just an idea, but the, icons or whatever, they're part of the Star Atlas thing. It's like, cool, yeah, let's build that. So anyways, just a lot of cool stuff, ideas to come up. And then the last thing is my non-guild guild, intergalacticcoalition.com. Check that out if you're interested in, again, helping form a community of just basically Star Atlas gamers, not really looking to get into a guild or the different things that just hang out. Maybe someday we have an online presence as a Star Atlas DAC, but again, getting ahead of ourselves, so we don't have DACs yet. So just a place to hang out so that you don't have to wade through all the chat messages in Discord. Please fill out an interest survey. Once get enough people interested, we'll launch it with kind of a founder group or something like that. So that's it. Even though there was not much here, still filled up strangely the around 30 minutes. So have a great week. Again, this is Matt with the Intergalactic Herald.